Welcome to Boxing on the Record with Chi-Town and Randy. Chi-Town, what's going on with you today, man? What you got on your mind you want to get off and put it on the record?
Man, Randy, I gotta tell you, man. Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. I believe that's supposed to happen April the 20th, 420. For those people that date is significant for in the Barclays Center, and I have to step back for a second and say that this is not a fight that I wanted. I didn't want it at this particular time. I wanted Ryan to fight against Rowley. I think that was a better fight. Because they have just like both have they don't have the similar flaws, but they have enough flaws to make it fight so entertaining. And I just felt that if Tio would have been man enough and fought Devin, it could have been a Tio and Devin fight. And, because they both use a lot of their athleticism. I still have Devin winning that fight. And so that's kind of how I had it. But, however the cards are, we have it where Devin versus Burger King Ride just now. And, geez, bro, what can I say about this? We all know Devin's going to win, but Ryan appears to be up to his little antics again, his little mental health antics. And I have to say, man, most people know that I am a physician, but not that I am just a doctor. I'm a brain doctor. And so I've had a lot of psychiatric patients. I deal with some other brain issues as well. And Ryan has been forward about some of the mental health issues he has dealt with at his young age. And I recall that he was stating he was literally just trying to get out of boxing by the time he turned 25. Well, he's 25 now, I believe, or 26. And so when people say that their head's never in the game, they're never fully training, they're not properly trying to invest in the sport, living their lives right, or whatever you want to call it. I just want to get a bag and get out. Ryan did fight in amateurs, if you will. Amateur is different than pro. Ryan is a so-called handsome guy, so he has all this stuff from Instagram, and this is where his fame comes from. But as far as boxing is concerned, I mean, you think about it for a second. Not just what I'm doing to other people, but what other people doing to me. I don't want to get hit. Like Floyd Mayweather said, he hates getting hit. That's why Floyd made it clear that he wanted to retire before. He didn't want boxing to retire him. He wanted to retire before the boxing. And Floyd said on a regular basis, especially when he was getting those injections in his knuckles, how much he hated boxing. He's like, I hate boxing. I hate all this stuff. But, he's, at least in this modern era, considered to be one of the best to ever do it. So Ryan's been running off, doing some crazy Looney Tune stuff. In my opinion, me personally, I don't feel it is to sell the fight. I feel part of it may be mental health, but I feel that a lot of it is him trying to find some avenue where he can pull out the fight. You know, Ryan has done this God knows how many times before, and our big thing is, will he actually show up? He may show up to the stadium. He may take pictures outside of the stadium. He may even go into the locker room, and change his clothes in the locker room. But will he walk down the aisle to the ring? And that's the big, if anybody's betting right now in Vegas, that's where the money is at. Will Ryan make it to the ring? And not only will he make it to the ring, will he make it to that very first bell that says round one starts? He may find a way to get out of that. That's where all the money is at, regardless of if who's going to win the fight or not. So to me, I personally feel on a more of a bias, I guess, side of it from what I've seen for Ryan. All these antics are just him, finding ways to get out of the fight, in my opinion. And then maybe about 10% mental health oriented stuff. Reason I say that is because his family's already trying to get him out of the fight, saying focus on your mental health first, bro. And they're throwing that out there as a thing for him to do. So I think this is all combined as a way, because he's realizing like Devin is the truth. I can't beat Devin, and I need to find a way to get out of here. What you got, Randy?
I'm totally opposite with you on that. I think it's just a bunch of hoopla. I don't think the mental health issue has nothing at all to do with it. I think just because he played this card before, it worked, and he already feel like he's the master of marketing on the internet. So I think it's just I think it's a combination of trying to sell the fight and also fear. That's what I sense with Ryan in this situation here. I think it's fear. I think his worst nightmare came true. And what I mean by his worst nightmare have came true, I think he really felt like he could beat Tank because he felt like it was uh, power hand against power hand, and naturally, you think a lot of people think that they're more dominant than the other person. So I think with Tank, he thought he could probably get off on Tank before Tank get off on him, and Tank being smaller, he figured he could knock him out. So I don't think he was as afraid of Tank as he is of Devin, because we know he has spoken in the past that Devin probably would be his toughest fight out of Devin, Shakur, and Tank. And he said he would have to save him for last because that would be his toughest fight. And I believe the reason why it would be his toughest fight for the Devin critics to say he's pillar fisted, why would he be afraid of Devin, this, that, and the third, I think is because if you look back at one of my videos that I made without you, not intentionally, but with your schedule being like it is, then sometimes you can make it, sometimes you can't. But we got to try to continue on. But anyway, um, I said it's going to be 12 rounds of boxing. You know what I'm saying? We might be in for a treat because we might be able to actually see Devin perform at his best when it comes to boxing. And we might also see that Ryan doesn't hold a candle to these guys when it actually comes to boxing. So he know he's going to be in for a long 12. And we all know that it's worse to find yourself getting beat for 12 rounds, 10 rounds, 8 rounds than it is to get knocked out in 2 rounds, 4 rounds. So I think that's what he's looking at. I don't think he's really had nobody to just beat on him like Devin is going to beat on him. I'm not saying that Devin is a hell of a puncher, but he's going to beat on him all night. And the frustration for him not being able to get off on Devin like he want to, or looking crazy. Devin have him looking crazy, missing and looking real goofy, which he's almost goofy anyway. So he just exposed him even further. So I think that's what he's really looking at. He's looking at the whole world is going to be laughing at him when all this is over with, and it's going to look even worse than it did when he fought Tank. So that's why I think all these antics coming up. That's why I think he's doing all the things that he's doing because he want this built-in excuse to be there when he do lose. That's what I have on it.
Man, Randy, the first thing you said was that you totally disagree with me, and Peanut, your dog, disagreed with you. Peanut had some issues with everything he was saying all the way there. He's like, why, Randy? Why would you do this? Don't you see? I got mental health issues. Ryan has mental health issues, but no, bro. Listen, I think you presented a valuable position, a valuable stance, and I think that it definitely makes sense. For me, uh, it's something that ain't selling a fight if this is all the stuff you're trying to do. I mean, you're all over the place trying to do this. This is not how you would. You don't need to try to sell a fight, by doing all these different types of things. However, if we get past all of that, one thing that you said that is 1,000 is a 12-round boxing lesson, if you will, sort of like what Oscar De La Hoya said he was going to do with Tito Trinidad when they fought. Give him a boxing lesson, just give him a boxing lesson. And Ryan hasn't just literally been just straight out boxing embarrassed by anyone, and we know that Devin will do that. But it's not about outboxing you. Devin will show. Devin can 1,000% show that Ryan does not know how to box. He does not know. He doesn't know basic fundamental things. He does this and this. Devin can expose all of those types of things. Ryan, like you said, for me, he may have had a slugger chance. Let me throw this hook and let me do all that stuff against Tank because I have this power type thing, and Tank's gonna be looking for knockouts. So Tank ain't gonna be looking to embarrass me as far as my actual skills are. Devin, this is what he masters in doing, and like I think we had a conversation about this at some point in time in the past about what is more humiliating, just getting totally embarrassed like that, where it's like you should have never even picked up boxing or just get knocked out, and that is, I do believe, a huge fear of his. Devin will show that Ryan is not a boxer. He's a pretender. He's been a pretender. And yeah, I'm with you on all of that, man. I don't have anything else.
I'm done. With that being said, we're out of here like last year.
Peace.